All right, we have made it to Egypt, this place I've dreamed about, the place that you always read in your history books and you know about, but you don't really feel like it's there until you get here. Today what we're doing was meeting up with my friends at Bellies En-Route. I mean, they are big time when it comes to street food here in Cairo. They've been on major networks and everything. We're gonna meet one of my best friends right now, Mia.
Hey! Hi,
hey Mia.
How are you?
Good, how are you today?
I'm good. Are you ready to eat?
Of course, I do.
All right, okay, so we are going to be trying just a very wide range of classic Egyptian food staples. We're gonna give you like a really in-depth introduction on kind of like what makes Egyptian cuisine special. And we're going to start off by trying the Egyptian national dish.
Okay.
All right?
Let's do it. Let's get started. Nice to meet you, Mohammed. Oh, it's dark. Let's turn. Let's turn. Nice to meet you, Mohammed. Oh, very good. Assalamu alaikum.
Kushri.
Kushri, that's right.
Kushri.
National dish Egypt.
Sosis. Sosis.
Yes. Oh, sosis. Sausage. So we're first starting it off with the national dish of Egypt, koshri. I mean, this is a carb-loaded dish. You get rice, you get pasta. You're gonna get like fried shallots, meat, and a couple sauces on top.
Max.
And Mohammed. Thank you, Mohammed.
Liver. Meat.
Yes.
Max.
Yes. Oh, it's ready already. Thank you, my brother.
All right, I'm gonna actually eat this time.
All right, good.
I don't usually like do that on tours because you know you do this every day and you're just like.
But how could you pass up the national dish of Egypt?
Well, yeah, I love kushari. Kushari is basically like a medley of a lot of different carbohydrates. And I know it's gonna sound really weird, but trust me, all of the ingredients go together really well. So there's like rice, vermicelli, spaghetti, macaroni, and then we have some lentils, chickpeas, and fried onions. How we usually eat this is we add like a very generous amount of Egyptian tomato sauce. Now I know this looks like a marinara, but it isn't. Mostly because of just how we season it, it's different. So there isn't any like basil in there. It's mostly like allspice, maybe a little bit of cumin, some cardamom. And then the most fun part is this. So this is called da'a. Da'a is a sauce that's made by boiling white vinegar with lots and lots of garlic. And I know in the US when you say lots of garlic, it's like 2-3 cloves, but in Egyptian, we mean like, 10.
I am also a whole bowl person, so I can relate. There's no cloves in here.
Yeah.
One bowl per one clove is how I follow the recipe.
Exactly there. And then you just add like a nice generous amount on top, and then you mix it together. Kind of, take a little bit and chew thoroughly. Very light.
So you gotta get the right technique down. You gotta actually swirl like
Yeah.
this. Oh, there we go.
Slowly.
Well, you can do nothing here but go in for a big bite right away. That's the X factor for me right there, that fried onion. But that tomato sauce, you get that tomato fruitiness, that acid, but she's right, you don't get the basil, but instead you'll get some cumin, you'll get some allspice, and then all the textures. It's carbohydrate loaded, but I like the difference in carbohydrates because it's just a textural overload.
Take all the time you want.
Wow. There's a fatty protein sensation in there, but you gotta work past all the spices they've packed into that. That's a heavily spiced sausage. That's delicious. You got the heat. It just kind of settles on the back of your mouth right at the end. It's like the perfect little wake up.
Hi. I can't give you anything spicy.
Actually, best bite is when you get that garlic vinegar. The vinegar's not as strong as you would think, but it really just is infused that garlic and coats everything. I can already feel the garlic breath developing after just 2 bites.
This is a vinegar and like lime not lime. We don't really do limes. We have like Egyptian lemons. So there's vinegar, Egyptian lemon in there, a bit of salt, a bit of chili, and lots of like fresh herbs. And this is a salad water shot, or on the street we call it a whiskey shot.
I see all the dill on top. Wow.
Yeah. Cheers. So I can take it in one shot, but I don't know if
I will not. I will do half just to assess. Oh, it's very mild, a little acid. I love Egyptians' love for acid.
we do. Here, like, even though they only sell breakfast foods, but you know, in true Egyptian fashion, you can pretty much eat whatever you want anytime you want, but also because it's cheap.
So next spot we're at is a very specialty restaurant. They're only gonna do the falafel and the ful. Now they're both made from fava bean. That's what's very unique about Egypt, is their falafel is gonna be made from a fava bean, and their ful mixture, which we're gonna have to get into later, there's a lot we can talk about it, is from fava beans as well.
What like the fava bean hearts look like. All right, if you want to take a look.
Yeah.
So these are the peeled and crushed fava beans, okay? And they get thrown in this with parsley, coriander, maybe like a little bit of dill, leeks, fennel, onion, garlic, pretty much any green thing you have lying around, you throw it in. Now over here, okay, you see this little pot?
Is this what they cook the ful in?
Yes.
Yeah, this is very traditional, right?
It is.
Okay,
so
cool.
This is called a damesa or an idra, okay? And it's shaped like that because it traps the steam in as well. So the beans are not just boiled, but they're also steamed at the same time, and it's like a very unique way of cooking. They're poured in here with fresh water, and they're cooked for about 9 to 10 hours on a very low heat. And they become just so soft and easy to kind of like mash.
And you see when he's making, he's giving it one last little dip to get that little coating. You see parsley, dill, coriander seeds, you see some fennel, sesame seeds. It's dependent on shop. Everybody can do it differently. You can just do sesame seeds, you can just do certain things or mix and match. And this man has cranked out a few falafels. Would you see that technique of pushing them down with that rack, and now he's making a different shaped ones and just cranking them out. And what y'all didn't see, which is key right away, is he changed the oil. He did the fries, he pulled that oil out. He got a fresh batch, heated it up, and then the falafels go in. I mean, it's just that little attention to detail. You heard that, you turn the heat off. Now he's just going through, kind of hand picking them, getting it to the customer's preference, whether they want softer or crunchier.
All right. Do you mind if I touch your?
No, of course.
Okay, all right.
We're all family.
So these are the beans. See how soft and like glistening they are from like the oil?
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite, I asked them to add some French fries as well, because like why not? And you see like the chili stuffed in there. So we've got like some tahini, some home style fries, and then the falafel or the tameya with the stuffed chili peppers.
I mean, the closest thing I could think I could compare to having this would be like a bean and cheese burrito, but this looks just so wholesome, so hearty. In the Aish, which just translates to life, but is the Egyptian bread. I mean, there's so much history here with Egypt in their bread, so you know this is going to be perfected. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is the definition of simply delicious. The way those fava beans have just cooked down to an ultra soft creaminess. They just explode in your mouth. Got a little bit of oil in them, but then the perfect amount of salt balance, and then the tahina. Wow. And the thing you wouldn't think about, as I get it all over my face, is the contrast in texture from that whole wheat bread and that full coming together. Wow. And the best for last, wow, this just looks like a money buy 101, the falafel. You see that chili paste they put in it, that red all up in there, potatoes, the tahina. That is pure joy. There's so much going on with that crunchy falafel. Again, that texture, you see it in there mixing. The way it's almost like a pestle mortar creates a unique texture on that falafel. The immense amount of parsley and spices. That pure chili paste, I bit right into it. The Egyptians can do fried potatoes. Man, them French fries are on point. There's no way this would be good unless it's coming hot off the fryer. I mean, everything's warm in here.
Exactly.
Everything's fresh.
That is literally why it's so good. And that's why we love it here. Small batches, that's all they do.
I could eat about 50 of these. I'm just gonna have one of these for the whole tour, and the rest of the time I'm in Egypt. Just walk with one.
Arabic coffee is not something that you can easily find in a lot of like coffee shops or restaurants, and this is the reason why we're having it here specifically.
Why is Arabic coffee hard to find?
Because it's not something that is part of our grand tradition. It's something that was introduced into Egypt kind of like later on, pretty much. This place has been here since 1925, and it used to be owned by a Greek family. And because, of course, like downtown was modeled after Paris, and it was kind of like, you know, created to be a modern metropolitan part of the city, we had a lot of expats and a lot of immigrants, Greeks, Italians. We have a very large Armenian diaspora that live here, and they owned businesses. So a Greek family used to own this business.
I mean, people have been running in and out. I feel bad kind of taking up this space right here. You can see they got their beans stored. They got their roaster here. They're weighing it. They're grinding it. They're bagging it. They're giving it to you. I mean, this is start to finish product here.
Green coffee, the coffee that we're going to be having, is actually made from these beans. Now, coffee beans are green. Like, we know that, right? So they're very, very lightly toasted. Okay, and then they're ground with the cardamom. It's like a medium roast with cardamom. Do you want to smell it?
Oh, wow. Cardamom is very, very powering in the coffee. Like, it's not like any coffee aroma you've probably smelled before unless you've had the cardamom in it like this.
Yes.
Okay, got my coffee. It actually looks like tea. Big kick of sugar right at the beginning. The green coffee bean, it's the first time for me. I'm telling you, this is, if you wouldn't have told me what it was, I would have drank this. I'm like, not coffee, closer to tea. It's hard to explain, it really is hard to explain. It's like nothing you'll drink before, or have. Wow, what a place. I mean, you see the wear, the tear, you feel the history you walk in here. I mean, this is just, you come, you get some home cooked food. How long has it been here for?
This place has been open since the 70s.
70s, so it's been here since the 70s.
And there's no way for us to know what the menu is. We do know that there will always be amazing rotisserie chicken in that amazing roaster. We do know there will always be rice with vermicelli, but in terms of like the vegetable stews, you have no idea.
I like that. If I'm guessing, just taking things very seasonally, taking what looks good in the market, going to the market every day. These are the best restaurants. Gives that chef that creativity, but that's going to give you the best meal.
Spinach in general, this is
She knows you pretty well.
Hello.
And I blinked and it was all out here.
So we've got the spinach, which I told you, like, I'm not a fan of spinach. I love the spinach here. I love it so much that I sometimes have him pack some to go for me. Like, I literally have some in my freezer right now. And then we have some, ooh, sound. We have some white beans. And then over there, we've got some peas and carrots. And we always cook peas with carrots. Like when we make like the pea stew, or like the stewing of the vegetables, peas always go with carrots. So I'm just gonna take a piece and I'm gonna leave it over here for you. So we like to do something called a cat's ear. So you fold your bread into like a little, you know, it looks like a little cat, and then you use it as a spoon, so you kind of like scoop your food up. And
hurry.
Get messy with your food.
I mean, bread is life in Egypt, so I don't know why I wouldn't just start with some bread, tear off a little bit here.
We ate from the same loaf, so technically we're fine.
I thought we already were, but okay, apparently now it's official.
Now it's like, you know.
Official. Probably a big bite, but when she talks it up that much, how could you not go for a big bite? Man, that tomato profile flavor cooked down in a long time with the spinach, the texture from the celery. I see a little carrot in there. Wow, that is just so loving, so nutritious, so rich.
And we don't usually just boil the rice. Like we add ghee, you know.
Is that where you got the chicken stock as well?
Some people add bouillon or like chicken stock in.
Oh wow, look at that skin, that crisp, that oil hanging off. This looks like rotisserie chicken 101. Wow. I'm not eating in an Egyptian home ever, but if I had to imagine one, it would taste like this. To have so much flavor, and again, I've gone back to this so much, you're gonna get tired of hearing me saying it, but the nutritional value in these dishes, you just feel the strength and the nutrition nourishing you.
They go sleep there sometimes.
Oh, now, you know, the falafel sandwich, all stuff delicious, but this is something I was craving. Wow, just the love you could taste in that meal. It's nutritious. It's just like a big old warm hug. Amina?
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one who started this.
Yes, now her grandson runs the place.
When did she start here?
So this place was like, she started it off in like maybe 1953. You're gonna find it probably on every Egyptian knows about this place. Probably like every foreigner that comes here also knows about this place. And this isn't just like a touristy restaurant, it's a restaurant where pretty much everyone likes to come.
Whoa, you kind of feel like you're walking into like an enchanted forest in here. No, really, I feel like I'm in some fantasy enchanted forest. Look look up. Can you hear the birds?
Would you like some Turkish coffee?
Sure, yeah.
لا لا ماشي بالمرة. Really really nice Egyptian cheeses, but unfortunately they don't get a lot. It's like tart and sweet at the same time.
Whoa. Very tart.
Some say that it tastes like cranberry juice. I don't know. I've never had cranberry juice.
I could see it, but
This dish is also made with fava beans. This is called basara. So basara is made by mixing the cooked beans with parsley, coriander, onion, garlic, and also there's mint in there, and then they're topped off with very nice crispy fried onions. This is baba ghanoush, or baba ganoush as a lot of people call it, but we call it baba ghanoush. Islam either. And then over here we have some fried eggplants because like why not? Islam either. And more falafel, different shape.
wow, things keep coming. I keep trying to
No more, I promise.
I keep trying to make one dish and they keep bringing more and more stuff that intrigues me. And they gotta know I have shiny syndrome here. It's very hard for me. So I'm just gonna build a little pocket with the bread, get some of the fried eggplant in there, the falafel,
Yes.
and then baba ganoush. Oh, I know. You don't have to tell me twice to get that extra baba in there. Eggplant is so underrated. I don't know if it is, but I'm gonna say it is because it is that good.
So now you tried the falafel with the fries and then falafel with the eggplant, which is also something that we add.
The double eggplant here, the fried, but then the baba ganoush is really, maybe because I put so much of it, is the predominant factor in there. Garlicky, just a bit of acid, the creaminess in it. Like that creaminess factor is on another level. Then you get the crunch from the falafel.
Put in beledi bread. I can't not have some.
It's got a little more of a mushy paste to it, but it looks like the falafel mixture before they fried it. It really does.
I like to call it a liquid.
But I see it on the table. We got something that I've been wanting to try even before I came to Egypt. This is one dish I was so curious about.
So this is molokhia. So koshari is the national dish. Molokhia is the queen of the kitchen. There are a few people out there that don't like this. We don't talk to them. So what is molokhia? Molokhia is a weed. It looks like a very generic leaf. They're called jute leaves or Jew's mallow. Okay, so
Can I interrupt you? Do they also call them like Egyptian spinach?
sometimes,
Okay.
yes. So how is this dish made? This is a broth-based dish. So it's made with either chicken broth, beef broth, vegetable broth if you want. In some seafood restaurants, they'll even add like bits of shrimp in there. So the broth needs to be flavorful. So if you have good broth, you're gonna have really, really good molokhia. We use molokhia as a way to measure people's ability to cook because it's such a hands-on dish, you know? So whenever like if a mother-in-law is visiting like her daughter-in-law, if they're visiting the home of like the woman that her son wants to marry, usually there has to be molokhia on the table. And if it's good molokhia, then it's a great marriage. If it's not good molokhia, then it's a bad marriage.
So what'd you learn about molokhia? To eat it, you have to have lots of ghee, animal flavoring, lots of garlic, and coriander.
And allspice and salt.
How could it be bad? I was looking at that texture, it's crazy. It looks like you cooked some gumbo and had a lot of okra in it. You can see the minced molokhia in there. I'm butchering it every time. I'm just gonna eat. Oh yeah, that does slide down. You gotta be careful. It slides down real fast. You may not even get a chance to taste it. Coat your mouth, that ghee, salty, garlic, coriander flavor coming through. But I feel like the actual molokhia,
Doesn't have a flavor.
yeah, it doesn't have much of a flavor. I feel like it could be placebo effect, but you see this deep, dark, rich, green thing, and you kind of feel like you're getting that iron, that chlorophyll, that nutrition, but
This is filled with iron and vitamin C. It's very nutritious. It's a very nutritious like plant.
Right. But other than that, it is the ghee, it is the salt, it is the garlic and the coriander. Again, the only way you would not like this was the texture, but me, having grown up on okra, we're all good. Winner for me has to be the molokhia and the baba ganoush. So we're gonna test how exotic I like to eat. We're here for a stop to get the fried cow's brain. Something that may sound exotic, but I like liver, brain. They're just another protein source. They're nothing exotic. It's not offal. It's not something Westerners are made to be very exotic. It's just part of the culture, part of the daily diet.
Nicer with the rice. نعم أيوة بيصورك أنت والله.
What's the toothpick for?
So that you can pick the brain up.
Okay.
All right, so we got you some of your favorites. لا لا معايا والله. So we've got like the fried cow brain, and there's tahini on there, and then we've got like some pickled cucumbers, and then the pickled eggplant. I think he heard you, or he saw you pointing at it.
Oh, there you go. You went for it. Oh. As much brain as I've eaten in my life, that's actually the first time I've had it fried. And I don't know why more people don't fry cow brain, because the inside is just like pate. It's going to melt in your mouth. It's got a strong beef flavor. It's just, again, the texture is here. So much creamy texture in Egyptian food. And that crunch on the outside from the breading.
Doesn't it taste like nuggets?
It's just like a chicken nugget. It's actually creamier and better. I like the flavor more.
It is.
But it's just as creamy as that baba ganoush. Something that melts in your mouth. And you get to follow it up with some of the best palate cleansers ever. Salty, a little bit of heat, and sour fried eggplant. Doesn't get better than that.
This is also yours.
Yes. Oh, this is money bite right here.
I can't tell you if this is spicy or not. It might be, it might not be.
Perfect. Like 2 steps later, if we're going for dessert. Cow's brain into dessert.
And Konefa is a very popular Middle Eastern dessert, but like every country kind of has their own twist on it. Our twist is that we stuff it with custard cream and not cheese. And they specialize in... So you see this, for instance, like if you're visiting someone for the first time, if someone is like, you know, if you're going over to someone's house for like dinner or lunch, it's customary or, you know, common for you to bring like an assortment. And they're usually like packed like this or different packaging depending on like the shop you're in.
And this is what I love about this part of the world is they take their sweets seriously. Like it is, sweets are also life.
Yeah. We've got like small samples so that you can try as much as possible at the same time. Okay, so this is the Konefa I was telling you about. There it is. This is my piece.
Okay.
So you can't
If
have
there's something so good, you got to have your own piece.
Yes, this is mine. You can't have this. I'm just going to do it like one bite.
And 2. Cheers. Oh.
Too late.
Okay.
This is basbousa.
Basbousa.
Basbousa is a semolina flour cake. So it's made with semolina flour, lots of ghee, a little bit of honey. It's baked. And then, of course, soaked in tons of sugar syrup. Sometimes they also add nuts. Called the lady eyelashes. I have no idea why they're called that. And this is like a very crumbly cookie. Are you ready for your sugar coma?
I was about to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. I just got done with that first one. I said, it's not too sweet. And you're like, this one's covered in sugar. This one's drenched in sugar. This one is soaked in sugar.
Everything here is soaked in sugar.
Oh my gosh, let's start out with the semolina flour one.
Yeah.
You don't want any more?
No, I'm good.
Oh my. Wow, a little bite of that goes a long way. I really like the semolina flour though, because it's kind of got this graininess, this grittiness. I know that doesn't sound appealing, but it's almost like the sugar crystals are falling apart in your mouth, and then it touches your tongue and just dissolves.
Basbousa is the sweetest one of them.
Wow.
Because it doesn't just have sugar syrup, but sometimes people also add honey to the mixture before it gets baked.
This needs more flavor.
Yeah.
Sugar flavor. And this is the lady...
Lady eyelashes.
Eyelash. Oh.
This is like a popular one. This is like a fan favorite.
You know, it actually is kind of like, in the West, you have like the dough for a chocolate chip cookie. It is a little underbaked.
Yes, this has
It's
a similar
very
texture.
similar. Baklavas,
Yeah.
a one-goer.
All of these are like you're taking tiny bites. We usually just pop all of these in our mouth.
I'll go back. I'm just trying to cherish it.
These are called. This is like half a ladyfinger. Okay. Again, it's like a deep fried like cookie.
That was the
This is one of my
finger.
favorites as well.
Okay, I'll take your advice. Oh man, what is that like?
It's not like shortbread,
It's not.
but it's similar to it, but it's not exactly. It's more compact.
And then
Bellah Hashem.
Bala Hashem.
Bellah Hashem, yes.
Bala Hashem. Ooh.
Syrup like everywhere.
It's like a gulab jamun that just bursts with the sugar. Oh, can we see me here? I tell y'all what, got me a little bit sugar high now. For sunset in Cairo, which is got that golden aura. It's a beautiful sunset.
All right. Have you tried like the? Do you want a glass?
We can do a glass, yeah.
So this is just a basic like lager. And as you can see, there are lots of bubbles. There's lots of gas in this beer.
1897 in Egypt, you said was the first place that invented beer?
Ancient Egyptians did invent beer. With all due respect to all other, beer enthusiasts, that is the truth.
The Stella, a Egyptian staple in 1897. They've had plenty of years of practice to get it perfected. I don't know if it's the beer, I don't know if it's the sunset, I don't know if it's because I've had a good day of eating or what, but that hits the spot.
And we don't usually drink it from a glass. So that's why a lot of times when you go to bars, they're not going to serve you a glass because we just drink it
You just
straight
drink
out
it
of the bottle.
I did it for the video, y'all. All right, sunset is done. That's going to wrap the tour up. Thank you so much to Mia right here.
You're welcome. It was really nice showing you around.
Yes, Egyptian food expert. Knowledge of everything.
Thank you.
Guys, I learned a lot. Hope y'all did. Hope y'all had fun. That's it for day one. We'll be meeting up with Bellies En-Route again in
2 days.
2 days. But where?
In Heliopolis,
It's
which
very-
is, it's a residential district, a little bit off the beaten path. We're
Unknown.
going to be trying some really interesting Egyptian foods with a modern twist.
All right. Looking forward to it. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Catch you next one. Peace.